So this is the kind of the culmination of the Cherry Blossom Festival. They have a big dinner where many of the guests are here. So look at this. This is Dean Butler from Little House on the Prairie taking photos with fans. Patrick Duffy will be doing a special keynote speech tonight. There's Patrick Duffy. I had an opportunity this weekend to meet him, and he is one of the nicest down-to-earth people that you could meet. Bobby Ewing, he was on Step by Step, had a fantastic career, and just a super nice guy. All these people just can't get enough of meeting him. Over here we have two presidential chefs meeting with Richard Lamont, who was a flight attendant on Air Force One for several years. This gentleman sitting down over here is John. He was Timmy from Lassie. Over here, this is Reverend Nicholas Inman, who is the man who's responsible for this festival. Thanks to him, he's the one that started it with, this is President Eisenhower's great-granddaughter. It was their meeting that actually caused this festival to happen, the Cherry Blossom Festival here in Marshfield, Missouri. They take over the Marshfield Community Center for this event, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. It's nice to see something that's grassroots and started by just some people that love history and pop culture turn into something so successful. And again, over here's Dean Butler saying hi to fans, posing for photos with fans. And what event would be complete without Alan Kaiser, Bubba from Mama's Family, baby? Over here we have Darby Hinton from Daniel Boone, and if he turns around, we'll have Robert Pine from Chips. And there's Nellie Olson. Here we have some presidential descendants. That is Shannon, who is the descendant of Thomas Jefferson. Jerry Mathers, the Beaver, taking photos with fans. Over here, Richard Thomas is talking to Patrick Duffy. Richard Thomas from the Waltons. Here, Richard Lamont is talking to Miss Beadle from Little House on the Prairie. Very sweet lady.
On our 20th anniversary, it's a great pleasure to welcome to the stage Mr. Patrick Duffy.
With being the age I am now, I actually thought he said, "Who's thrown up?" No, Patrick. I was expecting you to give this glowing introduction.
I'm looking forward to it. I changed my mind.
Well, I must tell you, this is a bit of an awe-inspiring task to be given. First it was just, they said, would you just say a few words? And then as the 2 days went by, people were coming by the table saying, can't wait to hear your speech. I was going to say, it's lovely here. I'm grateful to wear my big shirts and tie. Thank you all very much. And walk away, and apparently that's not on the itinerary. But it's an amazing event, and obviously the room is full of people who like myself, have done these events before. And it's not without a sense of great gratitude that we're able to come to events like this. The more of these that we do, the deeper the sense of appreciation and gratitude gets imbued in you. The great fortune that we've had to have the careers that we have. And there are all kinds of careers, but we have a career that most of the people, let me just put it this way, most of the people are used to seeing me between their feet. And that's pretty much true with a lot of the people that, the people that were signing autographs. It's true of their lives. And so we don't get a chance to interchange and have conversations with the people that are actually responsible for us having the amazing lives that we're blessed to lead And the more that I found out, I can only speak for myself now because I know Richard doesn't feel this at all. But the more I've done this, the deeper that impacts me. That without these events, there would be such a wall between the gratitude that I know I have and the ability to express it. And this gives us the ability to express that gratitude on a one-to-one basis. Not through fan letters, or not through, there's a wonderful app called Cameo, where you can recite little things for like 2 minutes for somebody, and then it gets mailed to you on their phones. But it's still not the same. It's not the same as signing a picture or a piece of memorabilia, looking at someone in the eye, even if it's just for 10 seconds, and be able to express some sort of appreciation for why we're even here. So that's the kind of lesson that you all have graciously given myself, and I'll speak for a portion, if not all, of the talent and celebrities that are doing this, that you've given us. And it's an amazing thing at my age to constantly be reminded at a deeper and more profound level of just how valuable that lesson is. Because it is gratitude. It's appreciation and gratitude. And speaking for myself, I find that a larger difference as the years go by between appreciation and gratitude. I can appreciate a beautiful day. I can appreciate the sunshine, and the smell of the flower, and the affection of the person you love, and you can appreciate so many different things. Gratitude to me is a slightly different, definitive article. It requires action. And off and on I've heard phrases like, you owe a debt of gratitude for this or for that. And I find that more and more true. It's like, I appreciate money. Right? So you get money from the bank, you fill out the papers, get money from the bank, you appreciate the fact that you got the money. But it's a debt of gratitude. It is a loan. It is a debt, and you repay it. And these types of events that you have given us by virtue of being fans and watching our craft over the years, it's a debt of gratitude that we're honor bound to repay. And I'm just so thankful that these invitations keep coming my way to be able to do that on a regular basis. So that's like one side of it. But years ago, this is maybe 5 years ago, I heard on television, of course, I don't know whether he was coming down to Annapolis or West Point, but he was at the graduation. And his whole speech was about how the first thing and the most important thing all these cadets have to learn and then carry with them for the rest of their lives. And I'm thinking, okay, let's be ready, be patriotic. He said, make your bed. You may have seen this article. It's the most profound, simple thing. He said, make your bed. And he told all of those young cadets when they came in, that's your job. If you start your day that way, the rest of your day is based on making that kind of effort. And the moment your eyes open, you get out of that bed, you don't scramble for the coffee pot, make your bed. And so on a daily basis, I also learned this from my dear friend Linda Gray, who we talk about this all the time. She does a gratitude walk every morning. And she's, I think, 85 now, or something like that. And every morning she gets out of bed, puts a sweater on her head, and makes sure that she's fully dressed. You all, at our age, you have to do that. You get halfway down the block, oh my goodness, that's my wallet at home. But she does her gratitude walk. And every morning I do my gratitude prayers. And it sets the stage for how I want, it's my version of making the bed. It sets the tone for the entire day. And I feel that that's so important. And hopefully, not actually, but hopefully, my boys will imbue their children with that. I've never seen them make a bed their entire life. But maybe it skips a generation like all of us or something. I have hope still. But it is important. Gratitude is so important. It will change your life. It has changed mine. It changes the way I look at something. And it changes the way I feel about myself. If you're grateful for yourself, for your body, grateful for the way your insides work, that's where you start. Those are the building blocks. Whatever your faith might be, the building blocks are touching that part of your life that can't be touched intellectually, can't be touched, through all of our rather limited scientific learning, but it can be touched emotionally. And to wake up in the morning to say, "Hello, self." I do, once I'm done with the gratitude prayers in the morning, I do a little workout, and when I'm done, I go, "Thank you, body. 76 years, thank you so much. Let me do it again." And that then translates, it broadens, it's like a stone in a pond. The pond of your life, cosmic life, however you want to look at it. If you're grateful for your body, then you're grateful for the way you treat your body. And then you're grateful for, in the next extension, which is the people around your body, your loved ones, your family, your children, your wife and husband. And then that expands the people in your environment. And then that's all people. It's amazing. Gratitude for all people. And then what's next? Gratitude for your country and then gratitude for the world. And it does have an effect. We can have an effect by something as simple as, metaphorically making our bed. The metaphor being the first thing. Not, I'm going to get to that later. Because that goes on my list of chores of the house that I just put on the list for the next day. I got to make that wall in the garage. Well, that's been on my chore list for about 6 months now. It just gets moved to the next day. The make your bed syndrome, that gratitude and that sort of inventory that you take during the day, especially the first part of my day is taking the inventory of what my goals are, and then the end of the day is seeing how I did. How'd I do? What's the end result? And again, the metaphor of these events is perfect for me. Because I wake up and I've come to these things and I get to interface with all of these amazing people, like the Reverend was saying, everybody who works here, the amazing amount of effort, and be able to express gratitude, maybe not vocally, verbally, because sometimes I don't, and sometimes you don't have the time, but you can have the attitude. If you make your bed, they'll understand you're a bed maker. We all start doing things in our bed. First, we're bedwetters. And then, eventually we become bed makers. The sense of being able to come here and express that debt of gratitude is something that I enjoy much and carry with me to a greater and greater degree all the time. So my debt of gratitude is to all of you. And the other side of this also is, we're treated like artists here, and a lot of times, and many times, and sometimes the majority of times, it's with the sense that, you're on television and you're actors and actresses and you're writers and all of this, and I'm a banker, I'm a doctor, but you're an artist. And I'm thinking after I look at it, no, that's an art. Living well is an art form. Being a parent is an art form. You're an artist. Being a carpenter, as long as you're not hitting your thumb every other swing of the hammer, you're an artist. There's an art form to that. And the appreciation of artistry covers a much broader spectrum than sculpting, acting, painting, singing, musicianship, all of that. The art form of a relationship, a successful, loving relationship, is an art form. It requires effort, it requires determination, aspiration, and then gratification. That makes you then go farther into that realm of whatever art form you've chosen. And I'm always amazed when people go, how do you memorize all those lines? I say, how do you know all the medicines that you know? How do you know all the rules of this? How are you not arrested as a banker for, just not knowing how to add? It's an art form. You are an artist, and this is not a lesson speech or anything, but please appreciate the art form of your life. It is something that is very encouraging to us to be able to expand our horizons as the people that do a very simplified portion of the art world, whether it's television, stage, or being a music person or whatever. The art form of living requires, I think, in my opinion, a lot more effort, a lot more determination, a lot more living life education than what we do. I can be a lucky actor. I'm a very lucky actor. And sometimes you can be a good actor. But you know right away when you're not a good husband or a good wife. And the other person in the relationship will let you know that really quickly. If you're not a good parent, the results are immediate. So being an artist in whatever form your life has taken is the most rewarding thing I can think of. So all of this rambling, which I'm going to stop now, because there's so much cheesecake that hasn't been eaten. And I'm already warning certain people, so time to cut this short. But I want to thank you for the invitation for being here. I love getting to know new places in the country, new people from the surrounding environment and places that you live, where you're from, what your families are like, what the history of your watching our particular portion of what we do for a living, what it means to you, is what it means to us. So thank you again. I appreciate it very much. And a year from now, maybe I'll wear my pink shirt again.
Thomas.
A year from now, you'll be wearing this. But first, the introduction. Yes, all again. I wish to present to you a man whose great learning, veneration for truth, are exceeded only by his high moral character and his majestic presence. I'm speaking in music. Of myself. No. Now, we've heard about Patrick's wonderful career, his many indelible performances, the beloved Bobby Ewing, internationally beloved Bobby Ewing, but I'm here to tell you a couple things you may not know. He's a wonderful stage actor. With that information, they pay. We did a show together in London on the West End many years back and became great friends. So I know Patrick as a colleague and as a friend, and I'm here to tell you there's none better at all. His compassion, his empathy, his humor, his naughty humor, his wonderful presence on stage, his generosity as an actor, as a scene partner, are excelled only by his decency and wonderful qualities as a human being. So I would like to present to my esteemed colleague and cherished friend, Patrick Duffy, the Edward D. Hubble Medal of Initiative Award for 1920.
Standing ovation.